I think it's good to work with your guys and just treat them as you would treat, brother or sister. One guy's been with me 36 years. His brother's been with me 15, another guy 25, and my son's been with me forever.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Community Chronicles. Today, we are joined by Mike Paytas, CEO and founder of Paytas Construction.
I started my business 40 plus years ago with my two brothers. That's during summertime. We needed we needed money. So we actually bought a beat up station wagon for $600, walked around the neighborhood, knocked on doors, and basically asked people if they needed any work done. So that's how we started. It grew, and we eventually started hiring other college kids that needed work in the summer. And then when I graduated college, it became more serious with the business, and it became a living for me. I took it seriously, and my brothers went off and did their own separate careers, and I stuck with this. We started out as just painting, and then started getting into repair work and remodeling. And now we pretty much do the bulk of my business is bathroom remodeling, kitchen remodeling. We probably do 40 bathrooms a year now. And my son works for me. I have 3 other employees full-time that have been with me 30 plus years. And I have a bunch of reliable subcontractors that we do the work with. And it's basically 95% of my work is in Summit. I have trucks that are 20 years old, and they have like less than 50,000 miles on them. So it's very, very local. And I enjoy it. People keep asking me, when are you going to retire? And I'm like, I thoroughly enjoy what I do. It keeps me healthy. And if you enjoy it, it doesn't feel like work to me. I look forward to getting up and going to work every day.
Take me back to the beginning. So as a college student, what exactly inspired you to start knocking on doors and pursuing this?
The need for money. I came from a family of 7, 5 boys, 2 girls, and there was no handouts. It's like you had to go out and make your own money. It just seemed like a logical way. I always enjoyed working with my hands, and I pursued that and learned from other tradesmen, just being on job sites and watching them. And then that's the best teacher is hands-on. Teaching is a hands-on experience. So that's how I became like kind of obsessed with it, and just enjoy my organized trucks and doing jobs in a very organized, efficient manner and neatly, and customers, appreciate that.
You mentioned that like your work kind of bleeds into your life, like you really enjoyed, and I think that's great. But do you believe that an entrepreneur can have like a work-life balance, like they can balance like other priorities with a business, or not necessarily?
That's always a challenge. I think, my wife keeps telling me I work too much. I work long hours during the week, and then on weekends I do a lot of paperwork. She recently retired and I'm trying to incorporate her into bearing some of that work so that I won't have to work as much as I do. But like I say, I really enjoy it. So she might look at it going, oh, you work so much, and aren't you tired of it? I'm like, no. I'm like, I enjoy it. I don't wish I was out there golfing on a Sunday, or I enjoy either, if I'm not doing paperwork, I'll do work around the house, which owning a 100-year-old house, you're always going to need work. So I just enjoy doing it. I enjoy seeing something that needs to be fixed and being able to fix it without calling anybody or even Googling anything. Just being able to, okay, I'm going to look at that, analyze it, and be able to fix it. And I rarely get stumped where I go, okay, let me YouTube this and see how it's done.
To follow up on that, so I've seen that a lot of college students lately have been kind of substituting away from trades and instead pursuing careers that, while may not be as like high paying or as fulfilling, they're going into more white collar jobs. They're not even getting jobs in the first place. I mean, the unemployment rate among college students is very high. What do you have to say about that?
Over the years, I've done mission trips to upstate New York with my daughter and my 2 sons over the years. And it's a group of churches that gets 7 kids on like 15 to 17 years old. And they go out on work sites and they help out homes for people in need. And I've actually mentored a few of those kids because some of them, I will say, those kids wouldn't go on that trip unless they had an interest in working with tools and helping others. On several occasions, I've had a few of those kids work with me for the summer and actually do internships in high schools with me. So there are a few. I'd like to work with my hands. There's a need in the trades for good plumbers, electricians, floor refinishers, carpenters. And if you're good at it, you can make a decent living. But there are a lot of, shall we say, people that don't do the quality work. And that's only reinforces my business because I have to, just pay him what he wants and have it done right. And that's it. I try and emphasize to kids that everybody should know how to do the basic work around a house. So you're either going to rent or own a house, and you're going to need to fix some things once in a while. And it's just rewarding to be able to do that on your own.
Can you speak to some of the challenges you faced with growing your business over the past 40 years?
Well, there's a lot of insurances, overhead, maintaining your trucks, things of that. I've been paying insurance for 40 plus years, and I don't think I've ever had one claim. So, it's a necessary evil. You obviously have to have workman's comp liability and all. Some of the challenges are finding good work. I think that's a major complaint with other owners of small businesses is they always say, I can't find good workers. And I ask, well, what are you paying them? And, they're paying them like well under what I pay, or I don't know. I treat my guys like, brothers, and I pay them well. I work alongside of them. They appreciate that. I think if you're just, I put a work belt on every day and I work as hard as them, and they go, I can't complain. He's 10 years older than me, 15 years older than me, in some cases more. My son is quite a bit older. But, if I'm doing the same workload that they're doing, they can't say anything. So I think it's good to work with your guys and just, treat them as you would treat, brother or sister.
So you believe that a lot of other contractors in the space right now are kind of neglecting that aspect of their business, trust between their workers and...
I don't want to speak to other contractors, but as far as saying they're not doing something right, I know you have to pay. People have to make a living. If you want a serious worker, you have to pay him. If he's going to invest in you and raise his family based on your employment of them, you have to respect that. You have to pay them well so they can make a living working for you. I think just the whole work environment is important too. Make 5 lunches a day and if guys don't forget their lunch, I have a lunch available, for them. We have microwaves on the job and, good food. I make, very decent lunches. I give me to my subcontractors. One subcontractor's plumber's apprentice just texted me out of the blue this morning. Mike, thanks so much for all the lunches. I neglected to tell you how much I appreciate that, and all. And they look forward to coming to my job sites because it's clean, it's neat, they get a free lunch. So people are just, you try and create a, good atmosphere to people be around to work in. When you come in to work, I'm going to say, hey, how you doing? Good morning. I don't want this gloomy feeling. Come on, we're going to have a good day. We're going to work hard. Let's go. That's what I try to create. One guy's been with me 36 years. His brother's been with me 15. Another guy 25, and my son's been with me forever.
Looking ahead, how do you see your business growing? What are your future goals for your business?
I recently purchased my warehouse that I was renting for 10 years in Chatham. That was a year ago. And that's a good feeling because the landlord was selling the property. And if someone else bought it and wanted to develop it and I couldn't stay there, then I would have to move my business somewhere. And there's a lot of places for contractors to park 6 trucks, some trailers, store all before. And I worked with a very good bank, First Bank, to secure the mortgage. And the next phase would be to develop that property until Chatham is going through a redevelopment plan on River Road where they want storefronts on the first floor and then apartments above them. I think that's the master plan. I'm in the planning stages of building a large workshop, possibly drive in your vehicles inside. And then have, I don't know if you'd be able to do that, having vehicles inside with, tenants upstairs, but that's the next phase. I'm not looking to really grow anymore. I'm not trying to conquer New Jersey. I just want to make a good living, pass the business on to my, sons, have them carry on. If they want to do something else, grow, that's fine. But to me, I've seen other contractors that have 30 trucks, 40 workers. I don't want that.
So you really value a small, tight-knit team.
4 employees full-time is my magic number, possibly 5.
Yeah.
But 4 is a very manageable. We can have 2, 3 jobs going at one time because we do our in-house aspect on a bathroom renovation and then the plumbers come in, so we have to step out, so we have to go to another job, and then the plumbers are done, the electrician has to come in, then we come back in. So if we have 3 jobs going, it takes a lot of planning to keep all them moving, because you don't want downtime on a job site. That's a killer with customers. Nobody shows up for a week. It's like I keep them moving. Someone is there every day. If I had 10 more workers, I'd need to have 5 more jobs going, and I'd just be sitting in the office planning all the time, and I don't want to do that.
This might be more of like a philosophical, very open-ended question, but what do you think the word entrepreneur means to you?
I guess I'm an entrepreneur. I work with a passion and enjoy it and relish in it. I guess that's my understanding of it. Getting fully involved, being motivated, determined, and have fun along the way and make it happen.
Finally, do you have any tips for young entrepreneurs that are looking to go into a similar space?
I would say that to try and do an apprenticeship with an owner like me, and keep your eyes open and just look, listen, and learn from people that do things right. And I've had probably about 5 or 6 interns, people that worked with me on and off. One went to college this year. When she comes back, she wants to, make some extra side money, whatever. She can get a couple days in on a vacation, and she really relishes in doing things the way, attention to detail. Whatever you do behind the walls, nobody sees, but you still got to make that right. But it's the detail on the exterior that people see every day, and that has to be very fine-tuned. And you have to want that. You have to be detailed oriented and step back and go like, oh, wow, I did that. That looks good. And it's very rewarding. And I think sometimes when you do paperwork or a paper job, you never see like anything physical at the end of the day. It's always, oh, you did a nice job. It worked out well. But, what did I do? I built this. This was nothing before. And I go, people come in and go, wow, this is pretty nice. Yeah, we built it.
Beautiful patio.
I go, we built it in a week.
Yeah.
Before my son's high school graduation, he said, well, we're going to have some people over. So, okay, we got to get this going. And brought my crew in, and we built this in a week. So you could see this and go, yeah, I did everything here. And that's very satisfying to me. It's extremely fulfilling, yes.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into today's episode. Join us in the next one. Bye.